maybe your whole life, and you've never heard it ring. I am saying today, creation is calling. Connection, picking up the phone and hearing a voice on the other end, it demands something really big. It demands faith. The first step of connecting is a step of faith. Jesus is not just calling us to see and stand in awe and wonder, but also to believe that he is who he says he is. That he sees you and he wants you to see him. He wants to connect, to be connected with you. So let's start paying attention. Second, expect and protect our connection to our whole selves. Connect the parts of us that don't yet trust Jesus with those parts that already do. Connecting to God, to Jesus, it requires a capacity for openness. But pain and fear can be powerful deterrents from that capacity to be open to what God might be doing in us and around us. It's why 2 of the last 3 sermons that I've preached at the Vineyard are called What About Pain and What About Fear? Sermons you can find on SoundCloud.com. We're called to wholeness in ourselves despite the pain and fear that keep us from deeper faith. So when you hear the Lord's voice in creation calling you to go deeper, tell him what is standing in the way. Have an honest conversation about where you may still feel fear, or where you still may be hurting. Trust him in a new place within yourself. Expect wholeness. Third, expect and protect our connection with each other. Commit to being better stewards of our collective identity. We are called to wholeness with each other. In Zulu, there is a powerful word, a word that is a statement of culture and belief, Ubuntu. And the Zulu phrase that accompanies that is Umuntu, Gumuntu, Gabantu, which is that a person is a person by means of their connection to other people, which is one of the reasons why the policy of apartheid was such a great sin. Apartheid is a word that means separateness. Not only a sin of separating resources and wealth from haves and have-nots, but separating this very cord that connects us as people, this violation of Ubuntu. And we too, in our country, have committed a great sin of separation. So, racism at its core is believing the lie that somehow based on race, you and I are not connected. Jesus' plan is that we would be brought to complete unity in him and with each other. Creation speaks of that unity. We need to commit to it and to each other. And fourth, expect and protect our connection with creation. Renew our commitment to nurture creation. Creation is precious in God's sight and important for us to nurture. The command he gave to Adam in the garden is still on us to work and take care of it. Though all things will rise and all things will be made new, creation is not disposable. The earth is in trouble. We can start by understanding how to read the truth of that trouble in the Word and in the world. Learn about global warming and the difference between weather and climate. In Boy Scouts, I was kind of a reckless kid, and so I appreciated this statement that made me more aware of my stewardship of the land we would visit. The saying goes, let no one say and say to your shame that all was beautiful until you came. And that was helpful for me as a kid. It's a catchy saying, but I don't think the Lord works by shaming us. He works by sharing his glory with us, by lighting us up and connecting us to his glory, to his light in creation. Let's take better care of it. From your first sunrise to your last, the God of the universe is saying to you and me every day, hey, I love you. Let's connect. In closing, I want to share a poem. The late American poet Mary Oliver often wrote and spoke about the time she spent in the outdoors. She took her inspiration from the magic and mystery of the natural world. Though I don't think she would have described herself as a Christian, I think she knew in her bones that creation is soaked with God's presence, his divine power. So as we transition into a time of prayer and worship, I'd like to take a minute or two to read her poem, which calls us forward into the presence of the Creator in creation. The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her green wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Please stand with me in prayer.